bit windy today, so I hope you can hear me through the microphone. We are, but warm, nice and warm. I'm going to have a go today on this field here, which has been nicely disked and harrowed. I think it hasn't had a nice deep plough, sadly. Where does these days? I don't know. Anyway, I had a quick look here yesterday and found quite a lot of rubbish. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that many live digs, as it were. Just show you what I find. If I get a signal which I think is really, really nice sounding, which will probably turn out to be a rifle round or something, then we'll live dig it. Otherwise, I'll just show you what I find. And here's hoping. I'm sort of quite hopeful, which means we won't find anything. Anyway, well, this has got quite a nice sharp sound to it. I'm back running the Deus on hot reactivity down to 2.5. Back where we should be off this deep program. I mean, this is really lovely digging. Shame it's not completely rolled flat, but it's really nice. I found a lot of lead here yesterday. I didn't come out for very long. I just wanted to give it a quick little look. What's that? Bit of rubbish, sorry chaps. Do you think we'll find something quite nice today though? I'm quite hopeful today. Well, this, not unsurprisingly, gave a nice signal. Don't know what it is. It's got a bit of iron, an iron pin going through it by the look of it. Now I don't know how I can get this in focus with my camera rather than the ground behind it. But there's some sort of the line across it there. A mount of sorts. I've not seen one. But better than all the tiny bits of lead I'm finding. Absolutely littered with tiny bits of lead. I don't know why. But it's so infuriating because it gives such nice signals, tiny bits of lead, that nice little sweet ding ding ding. Quite nice to be out somewhere and fairly constantly digging. Yesterday I was on a field where I found a lot of stuff in the past. I got absolutely no signals. What's that? Bit of glass with 007 written on it backwards, or cool perhaps. Gosh, it doesn't look like it's been a part of a bottle. It's too flat. Cool. No, as I was saying, walking for 2 hours, maybe digging 3 signals, all rubbish, and then to come to a field like this, which has, but as you can hear, there's stuff everywhere. It's not good stuff. Most of it's lead, as I've said, but it just is really nice to make to be able to be digging stuff, even though I know what really good signals in the quiet field would have been really good things. Don't think that's a diggy. Oh, having said that, well, that's something irony. Is that part of the irony one, or are they two different signals? I think they're two different signals. Right, a live dig. Come on, make it be a goodie. There, it's lead. And it's not big bits of lead either, it's tiny little... That's a funny one. It's disappeared, which means it either was part of the iron or it's... No, it's definitely not in there. I'm not going to be bothered. There's too many other signals in this field for me to get really investigatory about this one. So let's go on. Here we've got another scratchy one very near some iron. May seem I'm swinging very fast today, but I've got quite a lot of ground to cover and I'm not really in the mood for religiously gridding and grinding out. I'm just enjoying myself, going at a nice pace and not taking it too seriously. Anyway. Scratchy, scratchy, but we never know. Sometimes the scratchiest ones can be the best. Out. Well, it's small. It's a little one. Where are you? Ooh, little drawing pin. What, I don't know, someone will tell me, what are these doing in these fields? Or it's a stud round something or other. While we're down here, I just found that, which is quite a nice thing. I'm not quite sure what it's part of. Maybe a handle, glazed dark on both sides, which probably means it's not very old. Well, it's you know, probably post-medieval. But it's a nice sign, isn't it? Oh, punchy signal. I think that. Wonder if the dais is a bit like human, and have good days and bad days. It's having a brilliant day. Even the tiniest little things are booming out. I don't think that's a tiny thing, but I'm going to dig it anyway because there's a couple of other bits that I found which I haven't bothered to record as and when. I just thought we'd just do it when I get a chance. I hope it wasn't. But that is it. Well, don't know what that is. It's lead alloy. It's probably quite old. Pot leg of something. I just don't know, but that's what makes a banging signal. Seems to have a little bit of a line across it there. Not very beautiful either way. Right, let's have a quick look. Now, toasted copper, can't see much on that. Again, gave a banging signal. Now I have seen this somewhere. It looks like a sort of lead cap, floppy lead cap. So when it would have opened into something sort of circular. I mean, a vessel, a vestibule of some sort. And I know I've seen them either on the detecting forums or in the past. Just can't put my finger on it. But it's all squashed up obviously now, but I hope the camera can give you some idea. Please let me know if you do know. excuse the wind, but you couldn't really ask for a nicer day. Right, might have a little play with my new toy. This is what I saved up for and bought instead of the remote for my dais. And I can check out fields, and on good years, well, in good years, when it's really dry, like this year would have been perfect, but obviously I'm slightly too late, to photograph some of the fields before harvest and see where if there are any signs of habitation or buildings and stuff like that. So it will be put, hopefully, to good use for detecting purposes. I'm going to fly it over the field I've just been on and then have a quick look at where we're about to go, which annoyingly has been night-hawked. You'll see their little footprints everywhere because it's been ploughed and given a bit of a dust over. So some of the ground's really, really flat and powdery, beautiful for detecting, and there are footprints all over it. And I know that there are nighthawkers that go there because they've been caught before. Anyway, it can't be helped, and I think there might be stuff there anyway, so we'll have a quick look. Right, let's set this little boy up. Quite easy. Am I out of batteries? Rats. This is an old phone I use just for the purposes of this, and it's haven't run out of batteries. And this one, God, that hasn't got any batteries in it either. Right, mission over. So I don't think I'm going to have enough juice to fly this thing. Okay, well, another time. Meanwhile, we'll go over to Nighthawk Field and see if we can find anything there. Well, here we are in the Nighthawk Field. I seem to like this area here and a little bit further out there as well. If I do find anything, I'll be thankful to them, because I used to search that cover, bit of the ground underneath that cover, and I never found anything earlier than Georgian there. So I never really bothered with this little section here, but I'm going to give it a really good going over now. Now I know that people keep coming onto it. They seem to like this bit as well because they're sort of slightly out of sight and earshot of where people do actually go. So they probably feel safe here, even though they have been caught once or twice. They were really cocky about it as well. They said, we come here the whole time. Anyway, I'll give it a good bit of a going over and see if they've left me anything. Well, I've been here for half an hour, and they must have very good detectors, these nighthawkers, to be able to detect the good stuff against the less interesting. Because I found Queen Elizabeth halfpenny, some shrapnel, buttons, a bit of bronze. Interestingly, an Indian head scent, American scent. I don't know much about this. I have found one before, but I'll look it up later. Some shrapnel, as I said, a bit of old copper. And that's literally 25 minutes of just in that area. So, I mean, I'm wondering whether there is anything in there, or whether it's nothing and they're just chancing it. The fact is that they do come back to this spot quite a lot from all accounts. Anyway, I haven't found anything yet, but I'm going to have a little go up there and then probably call it a day. A really nice banging signal. I know what it is because I've already dug it. Oh, it's a really nice one. A little crotal bell. I know some people really don't find these very often. Round here they're quite common. Well, I wouldn't say common, but I have found a few. This is Hertfordshire. It looks to be quite an early one. Decorated on the top. Could be quite nice decoration. Decorated, I think, on the bottom too. A drilled hole up the top as well, which is a good sign. That could be really sweet. And it's, rats, it's not full. He's not a ringer. But, gosh, almost. That's a shame. I'll clean that up later. Here's quite an interesting one, and on another day I think I would walk straight past this thinking big iron, because that could be nothing but big iron, but just next to it, I think that's a different target. But you could have just gone and thought, no, not interested in that. But here, I think that's something else. Let's have a little look. Oh, I'm not so sure now. Now I approached it from a different angle. I think it's the same thing. But they don't want that one. Whoa, let's have a look. As I said, I don't mind experimenting like this today, because there we go. It was a different signal. It was a different signal. Button. Yay, it's a button. It's a slightly nicer one. Look at that. A game bird of sorts, I would have thought. Partridge, grouse it might even be. So maybe a gamekeeper's button from a sort of fancy gamekeeper's suit. A fancy gamekeeper or a gamekeeper's fancy suit. Take your pick. Lovely, this ground. It's just powder, powder, powder. The spade goes through it so easily. It's lovely if all fields were like this all the time. All the time. Right, what do you think this is? Yep, you guessed it. They do give up a signal, don't they, these things? I think it's a cartwheel. At first I thought it was just a big fat George III penny, but I think that gives it away as being a cartwheel. So actually we haven't had a bad morning. We've had a hammered, now got a cartwheel, a few bits and pieces in between. So for a couple of hours that's not been bad. And I think I might come back here. There's not a lot in this field. No footprints either around here. As I said, I don't really do this an awful lot because I haven't found much in it in the past. Just interesting that some other people feel that it's worthwhile. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time.